Welcome to more Worldwide Rush. I'm playing Worldwide Rush on the Steam Deck, so it may look and play slightly different than playing on a PC. Memel Games, the developer of Worldwide Rush, gave me a Steam key so I can play this game. Thanks to them for giving me the opportunity to play. It is currently the middle of May, and I have $80,000 in my bank account. Last episode, I built a new hub in Rolla and started expanding that hub. I will continue with the expansion as soon as I make some money from my current transit routes. I would like to be connecting cities to the north of Rolla, including Columbia and Hannibal, and further cities further north of that which have connections to these cities. In order to make these connections, I need to build some roads. And I don't currently have the funds to be able to do that. So while I wait, I'm going to accelerate time. I might look around a little bit about other things I'm thinking about. So further north, I have Omaha, which looks like a great location for a hub. It has many connections all around Omaha, including some of the other cities north of Rolla. So integrating that into my network would be useful. All right, and I've earned some money, so let's slow back down and add a route first from Rolla to Columbia. We'll start in Columbia because that's the direction the passengers want to be traveling. And at this point, I'm just setting things up to have the routes. So I'll take a slaggard, build the road, and then create the route. Because my funding is currently very tight, I can't really put the vehicles I want to be putting on these routes, but I think it's better to start setting up these routes as is. Next up, we'll go to Hannibal, and it makes just as much sense for Hannibal to come through Columbia and Rolla. Again, almost out of money. I would need $120,000 above what I have right now in order to build that road, so we'll have to wait for a little bit. I will accelerate time while I wait. Other things to look at. I would like to build a new hub here in Macon so I can expand down into Florida. Been on the edge of Florida for a while now. I'd like to get that actually moving. And over to the east, I have a route out to Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach is now connected by roads to several other cities by my competitor, which is based out of New York and Washington, D.C. There are a bunch of cities which are close to Myrtle Beach, and I would like to be able to connect to all of them. And similarly, Cincinnati is close to a number of cities which are connected to my competitor based out of Chicago. And again, I think there's an opportunity there. And here we are, it's the start of June, so I have new funds and I have new tasks. I've grown a few cities, Kansas City, Columbia, and Hattiesburg. Some destinations changed. These are cities where I was unable to deliver those passengers, not going to really worry about either of those. And then the three new tasks, first of all, build a hub in Omaha. Well, that's what I wanted to do anyway, so let's do it. And as always, you build the hub itself, and then you want to add connections to all of the nearby cities. So we'll start with those. Okay, I had been looking at that connection to Rolla earlier. We will just move on from there and just start with Omaha. First of all, come out to the east. And now that I have more funds available, we will move back to the Trailblazer Antero, which is a good sized bus for starting routes. All right, so that's two cities. What others do we have? let's do Omaha to Lincoln's right next door, and then down to Salina. We need more transit on this route. I'm going to stick with the Antero. And for new routes, Fort Dodge is also connected to Rochester to the north, and then eventually to Eau Claire, which is the next sort of large city in this area. We also have the connection to Sioux Falls, Norfolk, so let's do Norfolk first. It'll be easy. There are fewer passengers on this route, so maybe I can get away with a smaller vehicle. The start of the month with $4 million, which is a lot, but it's not infinite, so I have to be a little bit careful. And then just noticing my other tasks are more connections to Atlanta and fulfill Memphis demand, which is done at the moment. So Atlanta's the big concern. Where does Atlanta want to go? Right, one of the connections that I need from Atlanta is to Tampa. So if I just add in a direct road doing that, again, we'll start small. It's a long road, but I need these roads if I want to get the connections task completed. So there we go. Again, looking at Macon. Where else do I need them? Okay, so Davenport and Green Bay. Both of those are far enough away. Rather than trying to do a road route, I'm going to expand into more planes. And so again, we'll start small with the 230. And then Davenport, which is in the same area. Interestingly, getting close to all of the road connections, which I'm creating that area. So maybe the way to go for this one is to create the road connection to Rolla, and then passengers should be able to come down that on those buses. So if we just connect Rolla directly to Hannibal and Cedar Rapids, what does this look like? Yeah, I probably want the Antero. Okay, so you can see the road that it creates goes through Ottumwa and Des Moines anyway. So I might as well add both of those as destinations, and for that matter, Columbia. So I need to build these roads. There we go. And now we have that route. So I have now connected all the cities to Rolla that I wanted to. Still haven't dealt with this Davenport problem. So it wants passengers going to Atlanta, but we also want to connect it to Ottumwa. So thinking through, what should this route look like? Let's do it pretty directly. Just Rolla, Ottumwa, and Davenport. And again, we'll start small. there's the road connection. And now we have a van using that road. So hopefully that will open up more transit possibilities up here. There's always the question of what to look at next. I have $600,000 at this point. Keep looking at places where I want to add hubs. It's not enough money. Can't borrow anymore. I have a $10 million loan, which apparently is the maximum. So what can I do with $600,000? What hubs do I have that I should expand? What other routes could I use? So Omaha, my most recent hubs, good choice. Talked before about these other cities. Let's see if we can pull off connecting to Eau Claire. And if we take a Hubbard, relatively small, relatively cheap, we can check the prices on the roads. Okay. I think I can do this. Okay, just barely missed. So, oh wait, nope. I didn't have enough money for a moment, but now I do, so let's go ahead and do it. And the point is, you can just see from the way the name appears on the map that Eau Claire has more transit connections than a lot of the other smaller cities. And so sort of deliberately aiming for the larger cities so I can establish more hubs. And at this point, I'm out of money. I might as well just speed the game up, see how we're doing. I have money coming in. Still don't actually have that connection from Davenport to Atlanta, it looks like. All right, there it went. Picked up passengers from Davenport. And so I've now completed all of my tasks. And at the speed I have money coming in, so where else do I want to go at this point? So what else do I need to do? All right, how am I doing? Okay, so I now have 3 hubs where I don't have hub managers yet. I probably want to install hub managers, so there's one for Selena. And more hub managers will cost $200,000, so I can't quite afford that yet. Looking, what other connections do I need? Okay, so I can't actually get passengers from Des Moines to Fort Dodge at this point. It's something about the routes that I have. I can't get passengers from Des Moines to Omaha either. So let me add a route that will do both of those. Buying inexpensive vehicles to keep my costs down. although I did have to expand the hub. Alright, so I can actually get to Cedar Rapids from over there, so I don't have to do anything about that at this moment. Can't get anywhere else from out there yet. Double checking. Norfolk is good. Omaha still wants a connection to the north to Sioux Falls and to the west to North Platte. What's and North Platte? Okay, Garden City isn't great, but Grand Island is along the way to Omaha. So connecting all three cities wouldn't be a bad idea. Again, when I have money for it. What's Selena doing? Okay, it also wants a connection to Garden City, but otherwise it's looking pretty good. Except from Wichita. All the other cities in the area are looking good. They all have connections to Ardmore, of course. Just taking a moment to look around and see how I'm doing. Most of my connections are doing pretty well. This one's a little behind. And I have the Endicott, which is supposed to be carrying passengers from Ciudad Acuña. Probably just need to take the time. San Antonio is backed up. You have a lot of passengers who want to go to Houston. Your indirect capacity, you have 91 passengers currently, the maximum is 80. That's going to cause problems because passengers who need to go through San Antonio aren't going to be able to get to where they need to go. So just checking my routes from San Antonio, yeah, it's not really a hub, but it's kind of acting like one. But if I had a direct route from San Antonio to Houston, that should help. Because right now I have lots of passengers to Houston who are getting dropped off in San Antonio, and so by adding that route will solve that problem. Okay, so I lost a connection to Atlanta. There's no direct path to Rockford. Okay. I'm gonna guess Rockford is up in this area. It is up in this area. So it wants to go through Chicago using the competitor's route, and it can't because Chicago is overflowing, just like San Antonio was. So can I do anything about this? Not only $30,000, but I hope something comes up. So the passengers to Chicago, they mostly want to go to Detroit. Again, it's hard to see what I can do about that directly. But I really need that to get cleared up. I don't have a way to resolve this on my own. Or I can just add a route directly from Rockford to Atlanta myself. So it's suggesting building an additional road, just to shorten the route through Chattanooga. I don't need it though, so I'm just gonna create the route as is, and there we go, we're back up to 3434. Let's go back to checking my cities. How am I doing? Okay, again, more passengers who want to go to Houston, which means they need to go through San Antonio, so hopefully that will clean itself out. Back over in the east. Keep wanting a hub. And Myrtle Beach, which also has a passenger problem at this point. It's all the passengers who are now trying to go to Washington from, yeah, this is routes from my competitor. They've also created a connection to Greensboro, which has some passengers to Culpeper and some to Washington. Felt like at the start of the game, sort of expanding slowly and just trying to get good connections between lots of places. And so you're limited in your expansion rate by how much money you have. And at this point, I've gotten to the stage where I'm trying to do lots of different things at the same time and very limited in how much money I have. Like, even though I have more money, the number of things I'm trying to do is more. And so still a lot of waiting. A lot of cities where the flow of passengers just isn't quite high enough yet. Comparing both hubs. All right. I might as well just add a direct route between Houston and Dallas. I'll simplify the routes the passengers are taking and go ahead and do it. Around. There are no obvious missing connections on the map. Although you really have to go city by city to make sure that you're getting your customer demand everywhere. Dyersburg has been an issue, and it is still an issue. Alright, so good news is Dyersburg can handle lots of indirect traffic, up to 660 people, but it's still a problem that I have so many people who want to get to Cape Girardeau. And things are a little backed up in Cape Girardeau and St. Louis as well. The question is, what can I do about it with the money that I currently have? But the month is almost over, so I can just wait it out. I will get the income from the hubs. I will get my bonuses from the tasks I completed. And I will get new tasks, and I can look into expanding from there. Okay. Again, just checking around, making sure everything looks good. All these numbers are reasonable. Some of these are a little high. 74 to Greenville is a little concerning. All right, there we go. New month. Fireworks in lots of places. All these cities expanded. They now have more passengers who want to go to more destinations. There's the list. Okay. Way too many cities to look at all of them individually. Changing destinations. These mostly look okay. Optimize vehicle profitability. What am I looking at? Okay, I mean, you look like you should be profitable. You're more of a problem. Why are you so big and only carrying 7 passengers right now? And then it's a plane. It's a plane from Atlanta to Green Bay. With only a single passenger. How am I doing on Green Bay and Atlanta at this point? Well, there's 6 passengers to pick up at least. Let's take a look at my upgrades. These are usually just, if it's recommending it, yes, go ahead and do it. Oh, except I can't because I'm sold out on the Gannett. So at least I can upgrade to the Wyndham. It'll be more expensive, but sure. Fix all 3 of these are going to go to Wyndhams. Sort of trusting that if the game is recommending that I do these upgrades, that will work out for me. And then the last thing we had was connecting North Platte to Omaha, which I had already been looking at. So now we'll do it. We'll come through Grand Island. And Antero. And yeah, building on the road makes sense. Let's go ahead and add Lincoln as well. And go ahead and do it. And yeah, you want to go to Omaha Grand Island, and you're going to both. Norfolk wants to go to North Platte. And okay, the passengers can get there at this point, so don't need to do anything more there. What was I looking at for Rolla? Oh, right. Cedar Rapids had the possible connection to Eau Claire, but that seems okay. I don't know if I need to do anything about it at this point. Alright, so everything's taken care of. Let's create some hubs. I think I want to start with Macon. Okay, interesting. You already have a connection up to Detroit. Before I do that, hub features. Don't want to do that. They have enough vehicles. They're going to enough places. I want the game to monitor that for me, so I don't have to. I can just focus on the new stuff. All right, let's go for it. Hub in Macon. And then where do we want to connect? North Charleston and Savannah looks good. Start making a head out. And then reverse the order. Really, we know we have passengers in the other cities. Let's bring them in rather than having the bus go out empty first. Build the roads, and great. And what else were we looking at? Next easy one, Tallahassee to Albany to Macon. Again, start where the passengers are. And going with the Trailblazers because they're a reasonable size and a reasonable cost. And now the big one. Macon has connections down to Jacksonville. And beyond that, Miami. And there are a bunch of cities down in southern Florida, all of which want to be connected to Miami, and some of which want to be connected to various other cities further north. So I want a route for all of them. And it will start in Miami and come back to the previous cities, and we'll just hit everywhere. Just all the way up the East Coast, more or less, and back to Macon. And alright, we'll get an intro. Start with that. We might want more. And build lots of roads. And there we go. Okay, so I've built out 3 routes for Macon at this point. I'm expecting to need more vehicles on all of these routes, so I'm just gonna give it the hub manager immediately and assume it will take care of getting all of these routes right. Next, I already talked about this a little bit. Back when I first made the connection to Myrtle Beach, I said there didn't seem to be much of a point of creating a hub there. But if you look now, especially since there are some connections to this cluster of cities in North Carolina and Virginia, and those are all being served by vehicles coming down from the competitor, I can do a better job of serving all of those cities. And so I'm basically trying to steal passengers from that competitor. And so we'll connect out some routes which they don't have direct connections for right now. Build some roads, and let's go. And then our road further north, same basic idea. There are all the roads, there we go. And Myrtle Beach also has a connection to Bermuda. Hamilton, Bermuda. And so let's put that connection in. The best way to do that is not going to be a bus, it will be a ship. So let's get into ships. Start small. There we go. So then the question is, what other connections do I need from Myrtle Beach? Just looking around, trying to figure out, there's other things I can obviously add. We have a bunch of connections up to Washington and Culpeper. Not gonna compete with those yet. I do want to compete with everything closer by. So Greenville's connection has passengers want to connect from Raleigh. And so I can do that. Just trying to figure out what the best way to do this is. I'll just go Myrtle Beach to Raleigh. To Greenville and see what kind of roads we need. Back to bus, of course. We'll go a little smaller. And okay, so you want to just add a road there just to shorten that route a little bit. It's fine. Alright, and so further north, Roanoke Rapids doesn't really connect to anything useful. Roanoke doesn't really connect to anything useful. So basically, I'm just staking claim to this cluster of cities. And meanwhile, North Flat, I haven't got my full bonus yet. I should. What's happening here? Where is this? So I just have this Antero, which is currently on its way back to North Flat. And so it should do fine. It has plenty of space to pick everyone up. That should bring me up to 100%. What else was I looking at? I have $1.2 million isn't really enough to create another hub at this point. I mean, I could buy the hub itself, but then I wouldn't be able to connect anything to it. So just looking around, are there other connections which I feel like I should have? Sioux Falls isn't bad. Nothing connects to really seems to make a whole lot of sense at this moment, but let's just do Sioux Falls to Omaha. Running out of options for less expensive vehicles. But there we go. Fort Dodge, how are you doing? Okay, so you should be able to get passengers there. You're just not at the moment. Those are both good. Again, Eau Claire really wants to be a hub. Cedar Rapids, okay, it's passengers are getting to Eau Claire, not quite as much as I want. Alright. Yeah, you have a direct path, so I don't know why you're at 0. Guess I just have to wait for the bus to show up. And you look pretty good. Oh, you don't have a path to Davenport. Okay. Why don't you have a path to Davenport? The only thing connecting to Davenport at the moment is the bus to Chicago. I need a new route to Davenport. Alright, so which city should I be connecting to Davenport? Okay, Okay, so Hannibal, Columbia, Rolla, other cities in the area. Not seeing connections to Davenport from any of these. Check up and down a little bit. Okay, we're good. St. Louis. Connection to Evansville. But we have a connection to that. Okay. Passengers are being picked up. And Chicago, we have connections to Chicago, so that's just traffic. What was I looking up? Map for the north. Ottumwa. Okay, so you need the connection to Davenport. But otherwise you look good. Kansas City doesn't really need a connection to anything, I don't think. Alright, so I think what I need... Okay, wait, let me check again. Davenport to Ottumwa. Yeah, I think what I need is just a route from Omaha through Ottumwa to Davenport, and so we might as well stop in Des Moines on the way. And again, what's the right mix of capacity and price? Use the Powell. Okay, so I've added hubs everywhere else. I haven't added a hub to Myrtle Beach yet. Or hub manager. I need a hub manager there. I'm surprised these routes are losing money. Okay, so that's the Fayetteville route. Not sure. I'm actually okay with those routes losing money because I'm trying to take away passengers from the competitor. So let's come back over here. Is there anything else that I was looking at? Okay, 50 to Salina. Passengers can get from Wichita to Salina, of course, but right now they're all coming on the route that's coming from Ardmore. And I think I need a more direct connection, so let's add one. And we'll start small, assume that's good enough. It'll take a couple of runs to pick everyone up, but it should be fine. Those numbers are okay. Ardmore's doing great. Wichita Falls is fine. Abilene is good. Dallas. Lots to Austin. 59 to Austin, that's kind of might indicate a problem. So my one connection to Austin at this point is San Antonio to Ardmore. You're just passing through Dallas. Okay. Let me give a more direct connection on that. Use the Dallas hub. Keep selling out various types of vehicles, but we'll take an Ontario. San Antonio, you're doing okay. These are all routes which are coming from Houston, I think. Very good. Very good. You're good. You want to connect to Dallas, and apparently you're not doing a good job of that. You have lots of passengers for Houston. Do I need another bus on this route? Yeah, okay, so that side is okay. This route is making plenty of money, and it has a Gannett. Let me just add another vehicle to it. Yeah. Oh, and I have earned trust in Jacksonville. So that means what I'm doing is working. At this point, Jacksonville, the bar just below the level shows the trust levels of different companies that are connected to Jacksonville. And I now have more trust than the other company, which means I'm winning. My goal of taking over is working. But back to this area, I have this Gannett bus running from Houston, San Antonio, Corpus Christi, and Matamoros, and passengers are backing up in Corpus Christi. Is that it? Yeah, that is the bus that I want. Let's go ahead and add another vehicle. There we go, starting in Matamoros, fills right up. So that should help with the passengers in Corpus Christi. Now, just looking around, College Station looked okay. Houston's okay. Port Arthur's okay. Lafayette's okay. Baton Rouge is okay. Shreveport. Lots of passengers to Dallas. Okay, but there's the bus on this route. It's on its way to Shreveport. They'll be able to pick up some of those passengers. Right, it'll be dropping off 6 in Shreveport. So there's 67 to pick up in Dallas. So it's not going to come close to picking them all up. Check the route. Okay, this is the only vehicle on the route. Let me add another vehicle to this route. Let me try to add another vehicle to this route. Not much that is both in stock and that I can afford. All right, never mind. What else should I be looking at? We'll just continue in this area. Baton Rouge, good. New Orleans, good. Gulfport, lots to Jackson. I mean, I'm not sure what I can do about it, right? The whole point is there aren't more buses for me to buy at this point. And Hattiesburg also has lots of passengers to get to Jackson. Just have one route, Jackson to New Orleans. Which has 3 vehicles. So, you know, I've got transport on that route. Jackson's looking pretty good. 32 to Atlanta is interesting. How are they getting there? Alright, so I have the direct path to Atlanta. Oh, not the bus. I want the city meridian. Okay, you're fine. Greenville, you're fine. Little Rock is fine. Oh, 64 to Rolla, okay. Alright, so you have to be taking a different route to get to Fayetteville and transferring. There are a ton of different routes. They can pick up passengers to Rolla. But most of them are going back to Memphis. And so all these passengers are coming from Memphis as well. They're all connecting. Huh. Which, like, that is not the route that I intended passengers to take to get from Memphis to Rolla. They keep finding different ways of doing it. What can I add to help this? Springfield has 100 passengers for Rolla. Okay. These numbers are so high. It's 100 to Rolla, 49 to Fayetteville. Do I have a route already? Looking through, trying to catch routes to Rolla. Let me add a route, Rolla, Springfield to Fayetteville. Oh, except again, is it worth it? Alright, I'm just gonna add the bus, figure out expanding this route later. We just need that. We need lots more people to be able to do that, and if I can't actually buy the bigger bus right now, I'll start with a small one. Are all okay at this point. We've got this connection between Davenport and Ottumwa working at this point. What else do I need? You have 171 to Cape Girardeau. Okay, things are getting backed up. Let me... Oh, wait. It's a new month. Alright, I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to add connection from Rolla around to Memphis. because there are lots of passengers who want to go that way, I'll put an Antero on you just to have something and go. Alright, let's hope that helps over there. Lots of cities have grown. Destinations. Some have changed. Okay. Miami from Nassau to Havana is interesting. Atlanta passenger quota. Passenger quotas seem to be difficult, but it's worth a big grant, right? I need to move 289 passengers. I have 110 who are currently indirect. These are passengers who are coming from other cities and stopping in Atlanta on the way to a different destination. They're going everywhere. And I have passengers who want to go everywhere. Let's see. Tampa, Meridian, Augusta seem like the priorities. And gain trust in Fayetteville. So again, my routes connecting to Myrtle Beach are working. Okay, but let's start with this task. Build a hub in Monterey. Interesting idea. Easy to do. So now expanding into Mexico from my Texas connections. So multinational transit. And so I want to connect Monterey to all of my other cities. Okay, without much thinking about it, if I just add a road from Laredo to Monterey, and Antero's going to be fine. We'll build this road and create, and yes, because I know there are passengers who want to get to Monterey from Texas, and so now they will all take buses to Laredo, and then that bus will take them the rest of the way. And now other destinations from Monterey, we can just use this road which already exists and come all the way down to Leon. Start defaulting to the Antero. Sure. And where else did Monterey want to go? Torreon is the big one. And then that has a further connection to Hidalgo. Parallel, but right now we'll just do... No, we'll do them all. And again, take the Antero. We'll have to build out this entire road. Okay, so that road is expensive. We will just stop here. I need that road so I can get the bonus from building the hub in Monterey. So now everything looks good over here, I think. Alright, so we have Houston, 5. Okay, so they're starting to go, I think. And start showing up at some point. Yeah, the rest of them just got picked up from Houston, so we're doing great there. Okay, so second task, connect Garden City to Salina. Easy enough. So I'll take the Trailblazer, that's all I should need for that road. And okay, I need to upgrade the hub, so this is going to be a little more expensive. Oh, and that road is partially going is going north anyway. Alright, let's do it. But yeah, Garden City also has a connection to North Platte, and you can't actually get there. Apparently that's too far away. So, you know, I'm building the one. Might as well add in another connection. Yeah. We'll go from Garden City up to North Flat, and we'll just come to Selena at that point. We could go through Grand Island. I don't think I need to. Again, we'll go small. We'll take the Hubbard. And okay, so right now it's showing me just existing roads, but I can build a direct road. That's clearly what I want to do. And do I want to include Grand Island? Doesn't look like it. We'll just go. Norfolk can't get to Grand Island. I should probably fix that while I'm here. We'll add a connection down to Selena through Grand Island. Again, the Hubbard is fine, and yeah, that direct road is the way to do it, and go. Okay, let's think about Atlanta. Where do we need to get passengers to, and how am I going to get them there? Alright, so I have 60 passengers to Tampa. I have a route to Tampa, which is just a Hubbard. That's not going to be big enough. Let me buy... How much do I actually want? Let's make it a Trailblazer. Give it some time. That should take care of Tampa. It's dropped off the top of the list already. Next up is Greenville. So Greenville is on the train. So yeah, this is the train route. Here's the train. So I have several trains coming in. They should be able to just pick up everyone. I don't think I have to worry about it. And the same for passengers going to Washington, really, right? Like, I don't have connections to Washington much, but there are connections to Washington from my competitors. I'm sort of relying on my competitor to be able to make these connections, but maybe I should do better than that. Alright, you know what? Let's do it. I'm going to go from Atlanta to Washington. The way I'm going to get there is I'm going to fly. Okay. I was hoping to be able to buy one of the bigger planes, but if this is all I can afford, then we'll do it. That's 8 passengers. Hopefully, I've added enough capacity to and from Atlanta that I shouldn't have any problems anymore. Okay, so Tampa's still on the problem list. Greenville should be solved by the trains. Yeah, this is all an indirect capacity problem, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Everyone going to Greenville, everyone going to Washington. And then there are lots and lots of different places that want a small number of passengers. Should I be doing anything about any of these? Mexico City. Another company has a direct path. Okay, great. So there's a bus coming from Mexico City. I guess the road network exists. I guess you can do it. So I really feel like I need to be worrying about the big cities, but they should all be good, right? I have this train which is coming. It'll carry 120 passengers out of Atlanta to Greenville and Washington. Alright, I'm not actually sure what more I should be doing about this quota at this point. I feel kind of like I have things more or less covered. I don't know. And so there's more things that I can be doing at this point. Like I have $500,000 in hand. I'm not sure what more I need to be doing. So I think I'm going to end it here. I think we'll stop here today. Thanks for watching. This is where I say like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I will see you next time when I will come back to this problem of the Atlanta passenger quota. See if I have a better idea about what I should be doing. Thanks for watching. See you next time.